And start over there too. Or if it does, already does it. Excellent collection or connection. Okay, cool.
Should I start recording? Or
Yeah, do the Audacity too.
okay. Audacity, rolling, blah blah blah. Come on. Okay.
There it goes.
Rolling.
All right.
They'll find us.
Yeah. I'm gonna just turn my phone completely off.
That's weird.
I know. I'm gonna have to figure out what this is because that's annoying. It's been a couple weeks in a row now.
Ready.
All right, good. So, anyways, cast a deadly spell. Fred Ward, he's a detective. He's trying to solve a mystery in L.A. There's gargoyles come to life. There's goblins. There's gremlins. There's a nightclub that's like the TARDIS where it's just the door and you walk in and there's a huge inside, but it's just a door on the outside. So it's like, I don't know. The tone is super weird about this, and I wanted to like it a lot more than I did, but I just didn't love it. But there are some really good practical effects and some interesting stuff here. So it's not completely devoid of value, and it's trying something. So I like that. I liked Bright a lot more. Bright was like Training Day with orcs. That was really cool. I like that one. But it's okay. It's okay.
Cast a deadly spell. Oh yeah, because the magic world.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And let me see where this is streaming here. I want to say it's Tubi. No, it's on Max. That's an HBO Max. So, okay, so that's Cast a Deadly Spell, 1991. I watched Wicked, finally.
Ha.
Did not like.
Yeah. What about it? That you didn't like? Was it the music?
I didn't like the characters. I thought they were draining. I thought everything was seemingly pretentious. It felt like I didn't...
Pretentious? Interesting.
Yeah, I felt like everything was so precious. Mm-hmm. And Ariana Grande's character is supposed to be the good witch, and she's a royal bitch.
Yes.
And I like that subversion, but I didn't like her at all. Like, I didn't even like her portrayal.
Her sister was a witch.
There we go. Thank you.
Good job.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's a poorly made movie, and I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
So it's almost impossible
to
argue against the set design and the costume design. And Defying Gravity was very good. Everybody says, "Oh, that song's great," and it was very good. And I enjoyed some of the allegory of racism and animals can't teach and blah 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 blah.
What?
Yeah, there's like talking animals like Narnia there. And at one point they tell them this proclamation that the animals are no longer able to teach. So like the goat teacher that teaches one of their classes can't teach anymore. And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's this politician made this proclamation and blah 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 blah." But
like goats can't teach children
animals at all. And it's like, but they were already integrated into society. So there's some good stuff to mine in there, but it's wrapped up in a package that just drained me so bad. It was drained.
Well, it takes 2.5 hours to get to Defying Gravity.
That's how movie's long,
and it's
part one.
Part one.
It's part one.
Oh,
it's part one of the movie.
It's only.
I think it's about as long as like the whole play.
Yeah, I think it's longer than the whole play.
Yeah,
and there's a part one. So, anyways, props to the casting department for casting Ariana Grande as a villain because I don't like her. So she was appropriately cast, I think.
Yeah.
And
I didn't like it much either. The music.
Wait, you saw it too?
Yeah, I talked about it. However long ago.
Yeah. The music was, I don't know. It was fine.
People like the music, and Defying Gravity's it's okay song, but
yeah, I thought she was like Ariva, whatever her name is,
Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia Erivo. She's got a great voice.
Yeah,
I think that some of the stuff they tried too hard in the singing aspect of it. It's like a lot of too many runs, So I don't know.
A minimal qualifier for me anyway, when it comes to musicals, because I like musicals, is that I have to like the music.
Sure, yeah, there you go. It helps. It certainly helps.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, once Jeff Goldblum's introduced, I'm like, didn't like him. I didn't like. I didn't like Margaret Yo or what's her name?
Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh, yeah. Michelle Yeoh, didn't like her in it.
She's the one who's doing the whole. Isn't she the one who's?
She's the bad teacher.
Yeah.
Spoilers. So, anyways, Wicked, pass.
All right.
And then lastly, I watched Michael Angarano's directorial feat starring our hometown, Sacramento, called Sacramento.
Oh, you watched it?
I watched it.
Is this streaming now?
I had to rent it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to rent it.
It's like a $10 rental. Regret. Yeah,
A regret.
Wait for streaming.
I've heard mixed things.
It's not terrible, but the two leads in it is Michael Angarano and Michael Cera. I don't understand Michael Cera's character at all. In some scenes, he's supposed to be competent and likable. In some scenes, he's completely incompetent and a complete douchebag asshole. Some scenes, he feels he's having like a mental breakdown, so you have sympathy for him throughout a lot of it. And other times, he's just being a dick for the sake of being a dick. Like I don't get his character. There's no through line. So I feel like his character wasn't very well realized. Kristen Stewart was doing a very underrated performance, which I liked. But they could have done so much more with her. Like she could have been a sounding board or a springboard for Michael Cera's character because they're about to have a baby together.
Yeah.
She's pregnant through a majority of the movie.
She looks like a fox in that movie.
Yes, I know you said that last week. You had to air your pregnancy fetish on this show, and then, but the
Am I wrong?
the other female lead in it is basically
Another female?
another one.
Oh, wow.
There's two in there.
Oh, it was. It's the Asian girl. Who the fuck is her name? I can't remember her name, but I know who you're talking about.
Give me a moment. I will tell you. Let's see here.
Wait, who was the other lead?
Michael Angarano.
Yeah, I looked at him in the movie poster. He kind of. I thought he looked like me a little bit.
I can see it.
Like I was like looking at him. I was like,
Michael.
Is that me?
Maya Erskine.
Is that me? Was I in the movie?
Maya Erskine or Erskine is the other female lead, and she's married to Michael Angarano in real life.
oh, okay.
So I was kind of expecting them to use that in some capacity because they have a relationship as well. And it's one of the most oddest meet cutes I've ever seen in a movie. But she was good. I really liked her a lot, and she was the opposite Donald Glover in the Mr. and Mrs. Smith series.
Oh, okay.
Also, she voices the main character in Blue Eye Samurai.
Oh,
Yeah, which I really loved. So,
fun.
Sacramento is, especially if you're from here, there's a number of scenes too where you're like, they're right across the street from Gunther's. One of the characters works at Gunther's, and they're across the street from Gunther's having a conversation, and then one of them like takes off down the block, and he's like, "Hey, wait up!" And then you cut to them, and they're in the middle of a fucking field somewhere, and you're like,
There's no
fields near there. And there's also like 4 separate scenes where they're driving across the yellow bridge over by the Pyramid Building.
The Tower Bridge.
Yeah, the Tower Bridge. And it's like, oh, we're in Sacramento. And they're driving across the Tower Bridge. And like, are they going to Midtown? Where are they going?
Are they going to downtown or are they going to West Sac?
West Sac.
One or the other. And then
That's not even how you would get to Sacramento.
I know. And then the next scene, they're like, okay, let's head to breakfast. And they're going over the bridge again. And you're like, are you
Where?
going to the bank?
I don't know. The money building?
Yeah, what the fuck? The financial building over there?
Yeah.
And it's
No, they're going to Capitol Garage.
so there's nothing terrible about it. Like none of it's really bad, but it just it didn't land for me at all.
Yeah.
So the portrayal of the city of Sacramento.
Fine. It was fine.
Okay.
I didn't mind that part of it.
So you don't think that like movie
Nice.
and I was thinking to myself, are they basing it on Sacramento for the sake of making fun of it because it's
No.
Sacramento?
No,
Do you
there's none
think
of
it's not disparaging?
No, there's none of that. It's just part of the setting.
It's based on something that Michael Angarano did
yeah,
like years ago with somebody.
the plot is they're estranged friends, and Michael Cera. Are we still rolling on Audacity? I don't think so.
Oh my God.
Come on.
At this point,
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So Michael Angarano and Michael Cera are estranged friends, is what it is. And Angarano comes back into his life, and his dad had just died. So that's basically it. And they're trying to reconnect, and he goes, "Why don't we just take a road trip to Sacramento?" And that's it. That's the end of it.
this just feels like a knockoff Real Pain.
A number of times I felt that.
Yeah.
It
Except
really, it was
I
a
had
way worse version of a Real Pain.
I had the same idea that we should go to the Grand Canyon.
That's nothing like with this. So, anyways, that's a rental. You could skip it. Wait for streaming.
Okay.
And that's everything.
All right.
Okay.
You guys got anything else?
No.
Do you look like you want to say something?
You want to say something? What is it?
Nothing, because we have a show. We're on a time crunch.
Well, now I want to know.
All right. Anyways,
Come on.
come on. What is
Spit it out.
Nothing.
Okay.
Why are you smirking? Why are you smiling?
Because I feel like you're putting me on the spot right now.
Okay. Well, thank you to our cool ass yardities on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather, Michael, and Chris. Or you can just watch on the YouTube page. That helps too. Until next time. Thank you for joining us as we gab and chatter. We talk to Sebastian from the Spaghetti Western database and give some streaming picks. Follow us next week or later on in the week or later on today if you're on the live stream as we review Ronin from 1998, John Frankenheimer's second to last movie. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class.
And TikTok at Middle Class Film Class, and on Twitter at Podcast MCFC.
All right, we'll see you next time.
See ya.
See ya.
Trained by the military. Yeah! What?
Oh my god!
What?
Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call! Bueller?
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller?
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kim left to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello, classmates, and welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. I am your host for today, Pete.
And I'm Tyler.
It's already on there. Okay. And today on this review episode, we are going to be reviewing my pick from the Wheel of Destiny, the first movie in Car Chase May. We are in May. Today we're reviewing John Frankenheimer's Ronin.
Right off the bat.
Off the jump.
Trained by the military. Experts in munitions, surveillance, and covert ops. They are remnants of the past. Career professionals. One man brought them together, made them a team. And only he knows what will keep them alive. United Artists presents Robert De Niro Ronin.
That wasn't in the movie, that shot of them walking like that?
I don't think so.
That was made just for the promo.
Yeah. It's the extra, the bonus content. So Ronin from 1998, directed by John Frankenheimer, a guy with a really fun name, whose movies I have not seen any of except for Ronin. This is written by J.D. Zeik and Richard Weiss, who is a pseudonym for David Mamet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So David Mamet, actually the one of the main writers on this. This is starring the most beloved Robert De Niro. Also Jean Reno in this. Natasha McElhonney, Stellan Skarsgård, Skip Sudith, Jonathan Pryce, Sean Bean, and the rest. Not a whole lot of other people you recognize. Pretty much like the Robert De Niro show. He's kind of the main the main dude, and then Boromir shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah, for a minute.
Yeah, I like Jean Reno though. He's really good in everything. He's Leon, the professional.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is my pick from the Wheel of Destiny, and before we actually get into our initial thoughts and our reviews and whatnot, I want to talk just a little bit about the car chase scene, the subject of May. Why this topic for me? No secret, I'm a car guy, like cars, like car chase scenes. And it's an art form to be able to take a couple of cars driving through the countryside or driving through the city and make it shot in a dynamic way that feels real, feels like they're actually traveling through the city at a breakneck pace, and it's dangerous, there are stakes at play, while still doing it in a way that does not actually risk people's lives. And to be fair, lives are always risked when you're shooting with heavy machinery on a camera, with people in front of it.
Yeah.
But you have comical car chase scenes, you have serious car chase scenes, you have exotics, Lamborghinis and Ferraris and things like that. And then you have, this movie doesn't really have a whole lot of exotics. It's got a couple Audis, a couple Mercedes, but they're not like the high-end sports cars. They're retrofitted. That Audi that they retrofit, the one guy, the driver, gets his throat cut. He asks for nitrous. He asks for increased jets for the carburetor, or which doesn't even have a carburetor on that car.
He wants those GTA mods.
Yeah, he wants to hit the chop shop and upgrade. So I picked Ronin because, number one, it is widely regarded as one of the greatest chase scene movies of all time because it's got 3 good chase scenes. It's got the one good one kind of at the beginning after the gun. The weapons duel. Yes. The securing the weapons cache gone wrong. And then there's the second smaller one, kind of near the middle, and then the final end scene. Well, I guess the smaller one, it's not necessarily a small one. It's more of a shoot 'em up chase scene. There's some gunfire, there's some explosions. I feel like it's more about that than it is necessarily the driving, but there is some pretty significant good driving, and it's a badass scene. And then there's the third one at the end when the female lead is behind the wheel, much to her chagrin, held captive by her boss, kind of whatever, and they have the goods in the back, and they're basically trying to get away, and that's like right through the heart of the city, right through Paris or wherever it is. So I think that this one's really good because it has 3 significant scenes. It's a movie that really doesn't get talked about much. I think everybody talks about mainly Bullet as one of the greatest chase scenes of all time. Excuse me. And speaking of Bullet, I'll give just a little bit of a context about the car chase scene and the history of. So car chase scenes in movies have a long history stretching back to the earliest days of filmmaking. 1903 was one of the earliest recorded car chase scenes in
Really?
film. Yes.
Wow.
By a movie called Runaway Match, directed by Alf Collins. But the first modern car chase movie, widely considered to be Bullet, 1968. So early examples of other car chase scenes are things like I said, Runaway Match, and Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton also incorporated car chase scenes and other vehicle chase scenes and stunts into their films because that was kind of the genre of the time for them, was pushing the boundary of physical stunts on camera. Also, other movies, let's see, we have The French Connection, we have Duel, Vanishing Point, and then there's a lot of advancements in technology as technology got more and more advanced as time goes on. You get more opportunity to do different and interesting camera angles in these chase scenes. And then you get into the CGI aspect of it. So you get into things like Gone in 60 Seconds and The Fast and the Furious and Need for Speed and Torque and all these movies that are a little bit more campy, goofy, over the top, almost like superheroes in cars.
Yeah.
So we also have big things like The Italian Job, Gone in 60 Seconds, Death Race 2000, and kind of a mid-level example of, you know, a movie that's really all just one giant chase scene. And then, of course, Mad Max Fury Road, which is one giant chase scene.
Yeah.
That the star of the show isn't necessarily the chase, but the vehicles in the chase.
Yeah.
So, so there's a lot of wide-ranging things. And then you get sort of like creative and campy sort of chase scenes, like the motorcycle semi-truck scene from Terminator 2 that you talked about earlier.
Yes.
And then you get non-traditional vehicles, which are kind of like car chase scenes, like two motorcycles, Mission Impossible 2. Jet ski chase scenes like Speed 2, Cruise Control. And then you get into things like in Police Story and Ong Bak 2 and things where you have like three-wheeled carts that are chasing each other at very low speeds. A movie that I really love from last year called Thelma has a chase scene in two like jazzy scooters, like senior citizens in like jazzy scooters.
What was that Steven Spielberg movie? It was kind of like a horror movie with like the semi truck that's chasing
Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive.
I
That
think it's the only movie that Stephen King, not Steven Spielberg.
Oh, Stephen King. Okay.
And I think that's one of the only movies that Stephen King directed too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good like horrific
Wait.
chase scene.
Wait, so you're okay? I might get mixed up. That's Duel that I mentioned earlier. That you're thinking of the Steven Spielberg early movie.
Yeah.
That one is a semi truck chasing a car like out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Maximum Overdrive is like all the machinery and the electronics and stuff come to life, and the semi truck is one of them.
Oh yeah.
It's got the Green Goblin giant mask on the front or whatever.
Okay, yeah, Duel. That kind of put in like a more horror like aspect to a car chase scene.
Yeah, that one was interesting because it took the driver of the semi truck out of the equation, and the truck itself almost took on a life of its own, even though there was a driver in there, and it wasn't a supernatural or whatever.
Or I mean, like Joseph's favorite movie, Jeepers Creepers. that the whole beginning scene where he's in that like
it's like a cat and mouse sort of thing. He's in the old truck.
Yeah, he's in
That
the
is
old
a
truck.
creepy chase scene.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a lot to talk about, and there's some evolution there. But when a lot of people are watching a movie that has a chase scene in it, I don't know what other people are looking for. I'm looking for a couple things. Number one, I'm looking for how did they do this? You know, when you're driving through the city and it's going 80 miles an hour,
Yeah.
can you fake that? Can you take the video, or can you take the actual recording of the car driving through the city and speed it up? They do that sometimes, and you see it and it looks hokey.
Yeah.
You know, or are they really bombing down a street at full speed with real people there? Because as safe as that may be, if everybody's in on it and everybody knows what's happening, you know, one bad move or a cobblestone road or a broken tie rod or a tire blowout or something like that, and you're pinning an extra.
Someone,
you're pinning an extra to the wall of this, Italian villa or whatever. So I think of it in terms of that, and like, what are the stakes when they're shooting the film? What is the overall look of it? Does it look scary? Does it look whatever?
Does it look fast?
Does it look fast? And does it mean something? Like, are the characters bought into it, or is it just a chase scene for the sake of the chase scene? So I look at it in terms of that, and then I also look at it in terms of, if these cars were doing this in real life, would they be able to drive after this shot?
Usually after jumps or
Yeah, you hit a jump and then you see the chassis bottom out and sparks fly and the muffler flies off, and the next scene they're just totally fine. You're like,
this wouldn't happen.
yeah, your alignment's completely gone.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't a trophy truck. This is an off-road
The
hike.
car is running on adrenaline.
And there's something to be said about that. You can ride a car at full bore for just so long until the engine blows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you could, in a way.
It's interesting that, like, when you like you said, like, your perspective of watching chase scenes, that you're like thinking about that aspect of it all, because I know that line of thinking, and I find it fascinating that you'll see a car chase scene, you're thinking about like the whole like mechanics of it all.
I'm thinking about the filmmaking aspect of it, and then also if this were to happen in real life, could this car do this thing?
Right.
Which is one of the reasons I really
love it.
loved the Batman, the Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman movie, is that the Batmobile is like a sort of long travel off-road truck chassis. So they actually build this long suspension into it, so when it jumps over something or flies over a ramp off of a thing and then lands, you can see the suspension cycling down, and you're like, that car was designed to do that. Where you take the 68 Hemi Cuda that Vin Diesel's driving in Fast and Furious 4 or whatever, and does a fucking wheelie and then flies off a ramp, and you see it land, and you're like, the entire body and chassis of that car is now banana shaped. And then the next scene, he's driving 100 miles an hour, taking turns like it's nothing. So there's that. And then there's the sort of chase scenes that are designed around the car itself. Things like Ford v Ferrari, or what's the other one? Rush with.
I thought you were going to say Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, I mean, Fast and Furious is like its own thing, and I don't think I'm going to revisit any of those for this, but maybe I'll watch the Fast Five safe scene. The safe dragging through the Spanish town or whatever it is, because that is one of the most insane Mad Max-esque chase scenes I've ever seen. And I remember I was mouth agape watching it on first release. Like, what cartoon is this they're watching that's live action? So anyways, we're to Ronin.
Yes.
It's a movie I discovered last year for myself for the first time. Really loved it. Arrow has a re-release, a great remaster of this that I have the disc for, and it is just fascinating. Just a great, in my opinion, a great movie. Frankenheimer is somebody I'd have no experience with, so this is my first and only movie from him. I loved it. I want to hear what you think about it, Tyler.
Oh, yeah. Loved this movie. And I think that the pinnacle point of this movie is definitely just the action that is portrayed in this movie. Because the plot is not really... It's important to get to the end of the movie, but what I was more interested is the action of the movie. They're doing not a heist, but they're trying to get this case from someone.
They're mercenaries.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let me just give the brief synopsis.
Oh yeah.
A freelancing former U.S. intelligence agent tries to track down a mysterious package that is wanted by the Irish and the Russians.
Yes.
And it's actually not just one, but there's a group of them. Jean Reno, Sean Bean, Robert De Niro are all basically mercenaries, hired gunmen to go get this package for this mysterious woman, played by Natasha McElhone. McElhone? Yeah. And she's Irish, and she's looking to retrieve this for unknown reasons, and she won't tell them what's in the case. She won't tell them very much about it. And you've determined, and you don't know anything about any of the mercenaries either. So you're learning who's capable and who's not, who's calm under pressure and who's not, as the heist continues. So so that's where we're
like
left
a Pulp
off.
Fiction, the case.
Yeah, it's
You don't know.
a little bit of the Pulp Fiction with the case, a little bit of Reservoir Dogs too, because there's
Yeah.
multiple people in the
Yes.
case and you don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
I immediately thought of Reservoir Dogs when I was watching this movie.
Okay.
It's funny enough, I thought I had missed an important plot point of what was in the case when I was watching the movie. So like I rewinded it a little bit and I'm like, okay, did they say something in the case? Because I have a I have a tendency to, miss important plot points and be like, what the hell? Why are they even doing this?
Okay.
And that wasn't the case, pun intended.
Great stuff.
Thank you. There was you don't know what's in the case. I quite frankly, the case didn't matter at one point. I think towards the end of the movie, they said that it doesn't matter about the case. It was just about completing the mission. This movie, I thought I was watching the wrong movie at first in the beginning because they were talking about samurais in feudal Japan. Like they were like giving like a synopsis of like samurais.
The opening credits, basically. You thought you were watching the wrong movie?
Well, because I was like thinking to myself, I was like, am I watching a samurai movie or I mean, I know it's called Ronin, but
Yeah, it is called Ronin.
and it had nothing to do with samurais, which I was a little disappointed. But
Or did it?
well, I mean, I guess the attitude of the characters could be samurai-like, but there's no swords or anything like that.
Continue
so.
your thoughts.
Anyways, yeah, this movie was just the pacing was really well paced. I mean, yeah, I know. It's not lost on me that I said something like that. I really liked the pacing of the movie, and I think the acting was really well done. I think Robert De Niro, it was a little hard for me to have him sold as the main character. But I've always had that problem with Robert De Niro.
Really?
Really?
That's interesting.
The only main character that I like in him is taxi cab.
No, it's just called Taxi.
It's called Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Oh, Taxi Driver.
Travis Bickle.
Yeah, Travis Bickle. I think that's the only main character of Robert De Niro's that I take as a legitimate main character. But everything else, I mean, I guess more or less Casino too as well. I could see him being the main character, but in this one, I feel like the main character should have been a little bit more handsome, a little bit more charismatic. I wish Sean Bean was the main character, to be quite honest. He was taken out of the movie far too soon.
Okay.
And that's not a spoiler. He doesn't die, but
Well, that's a spoiler.
oh well.
We're so used to him dying.
I know. I always thought it was like a clause in his contract that he has to die.
Him and Pedro.
Yeah. But yeah, I love this movie and I'm glad that I watched it.
Great. Awesome. I'm happy it landed well on you.
Yeah.
Joseph, how did you feel about Ronin?
I like Robert De Niro's character a lot, and his sort of like scoping out of his studying of everybody in his group.
Yeah.
You know, and him like when Sean Bean's character is about to get exiled from the group, he's like really testing him to see if he says who he says he is. That was a great scene. Yeah, and Jean Reno.
Yeah.
Also really good. I mean, he could have also like it was like a 2-man lead at one point. It felt like with Robert De Niro and him, because eventually it gets to that point.
Yeah.
Right. But overall, like the movie itself, I wasn't super invested in it. What this month is themed after, the chase scenes were really well executed, and the filmmaking behind them was insane when I'm reading like what I read about it.
Yeah.
But they felt really real. Like they felt like they were doing it. Like it felt like in Die Hard 3 when they're driving through Central Park.
Yeah. Just blasting through picnics and shit.
Yeah. It felt like I could feel that it was legitimate, and it wasn't like they sped it up or they built a set and are just driving like the same block over and over again, just from different angles. It felt like it was in the world, and I like that aspect of it. But overall, like the movie, it didn't really hit me super hard. But I can't really find anything that is to criticize it for that I didn't like. It just didn't get me going.
Gotcha.
Didn't get your motor running.
What were you hoping for more of when it ended?
I don't know. There was a lot of like inner, like between like this sort of action gun chase scenes, gun sequence or gunfight sequences. There was just a lot of I guess drama between more like not like a mob movie, but kind of like a mob movie in a sense. But I'm curious. Like I've never seen The Italian Job, and I feel like there would be some similarities between
The new or the old one? Have you seen either one?
No.
I have a soft spot for the new one. I know that it's Mark Wahlberg, it's hokey, and it's Edward Norton.
Because the plot
hamming it
seems like it might be similar. Like people who don't know each other.
They more work together in The Italian Job,
Yeah.
so there's not much of a mystery of who the people are.
Oh, okay.
But there's definitely some double cross, and then there's some revenge.
Yeah.
I think you'd probably like The Italian Job. I think it's a fun popcorn movie.
The new one.
The new one,
The
yeah.
newer one.
And it's fun to see Mini Coopers in a chase scene.
Yeah,
They soup up the Mini Coopers.
Yeah, that and the first Born. movie.
Yeah, the
Born-
Born on Legacy.
No,
No,
the
Born Supremacy.
No, that's not the first one.
Born Identity.
Yeah.
Born Identity. That's
I
what it
am
is.
Jason, Born Identity.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like overall, it was all right in my book.
Okay. Yeah. Too bad. Sad it
Too
didn't-
bad. He said it was all right.
Sad it didn't land a little bit harder, but that's okay. You know, he didn't say it's bad. Okay, so my thoughts. I think this movie is cool as fuck. I think Robert De Niro himself is cool as fuck in this. And it's an interesting thing because this is almost like the very end of De Niro's career before he turns into kind of a goofball on camera.
Before Meet the Parents.
Before Meet the Parents and Stardust and, you know, Sleeping with the Mob or whatever that movie is.
Dirty Grandpa.
Dirty Grandpa, yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Because he never
'Cause
had
this was
any-
in 1998, right?
Yeah, he never had any funny goof. He was very serious up until around this point. He was
The king of comedy, kind of, even though it's still like a disturbing sort of drama. But he's more like his character is like goofy.
character is over the top and trying to be goofy, but he's more cringe and scary than anything.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because it's De Niro starting to get salt and pepper, starting to go gray a little bit, and he's definitely like a mature version of the character, but playing the badass. Like he's not
He's not in his prime.
He's not as young or in his prime. He's a veteran at this point.
Yeah.
And he's an interesting character because you don't really get a whole lot of those cool, badass, mercenary type characters that are able to joke and laugh a little bit. And he's constantly cracking wise, not like trying to make people laugh, but he's saying clever things.
Yeah.
You know, like Sean Bean's character says, what, are you trying to save your own skin? And he goes, yeah, I like it. It covers my body.
Yeah.
And,
It's a
and
great
everybody
great
else
line.
kind of smirks and laughs like, look at this fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's
So-
a jokester. And all the little, you know, they're not grifts, but it's almost like when you watch a noir and you see the detective coming up with their thought process and coming up with clues about the mystery. Like in Chinatown, he pulls the glove box full of pocket watches, set the time, start it, you know, let it run, and then he goes, puts it under the back tire of the car that he's tailing, and then leaves. So when the car backs out over it, crushes it and stops the time. And now he knows when the guy left the scene. You're like, what a cool old thing.
Right.
You know, lo-fi detective work.
Yeah.
And in this, De Niro's character, the titular Ronin, it's not his actual name, but you know he's basically playing that. Sam is his name. He has all this stuff where he has the he puts the coffee cup on the edge of the table when he's basically checking Sean Bean.
Oh yeah, like I forgot about the coffee thing.
Yeah, and he's like, he goes up and he was also asking him what color is the boathouse and whatever.
Yeah.
In this place, and he's grilling him, and he doesn't even know the fucking answer. He just knows it's gonna rattle this guy, and he also knows that he's fucking bullshit and he's lying.
Yeah.
So it's like that is like it's almost from the outside. You and I would all be in that situation. Like Baby Driver would be completely blind, and I wouldn't know if Jamie Foxx is the competent person, or John Hamm is a competent person, or the young driver Baby is a competent. I wouldn't know because I'm not in that world. I would just be there like, oh fuck, I can't believe I'm on this team. It's crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
But to a professional, he could spot that he was a fake, like easy.
Well, like you said, he was a veteran, like so he's a good read of like those kind of people.
He's been through it before. He's seen good and bad, and he's seen that he ain't good, he ain't right, and he wants him off the team. So I like that, and I also really liked the relationship between the character of Vincent and Sam, which is Jean Reno's character, because inherently in the dialogue, there's nothing that really kind of alludes to a deeper relationship or a mutual respect. There's besides the, hey, you saved my life, you know, I'm going to go do better. I'm going to take you to somebody who's going to take that bullet out. You don't really see that written in the dialogue, but just the charisma, the really stoic charisma between both of the actors.
Yeah, I was going to say way they emote with each other.
Yeah, it leads to a relationship that's more than just what's written on the page.
Yeah.
And I like that. The other thing I really enjoy about
it's a test. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
The other thing I really enjoy about Ronin is that It is a rated R adult espionage thriller that does not dumb anything down. It doesn't have levity. It doesn't have childish, fatigue or any sort of like, we have to dumb this down for the kids or we have to whatever for the teenage audience. Like this is, you're either in or not. You're in for this like rated R. This is straight. This is almost like a prime dad movie.
Right.
And at this point in my life, maybe I like the dad movies. I don't know because I fucking love this movie. I think it's really something, and I don't know exactly what it is. And then just on top of all that, the chase sequences are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's like it's so calm and so quiet, and there's like no music throughout most of the movie. Mm-hmm. And as you're just waiting, like you don't know what's happening with the whole mission that they're gonna do, and they really don't know. De Niro's character Sam, setting up the camera, like, hey, go take a picture of me and my wife, and then setting up the baggage thing to knock over so we can see everybody go for their guns and see how they react.
So cool.
It's such a small thing, and it added so much to the character, and it adds so much to the movie. But you have to be patient, and you have to wait for it because the movie itself is just so calm and quiet until it gets to those moments, and then you give it a little glimpse of something cool, and you're like, all right. We're under the next level of this mission. And once the mission happens, it's like full fucking balls out.
Yeah. Balls to the wall.
It's like a rocket, like a grenade launcher from the first moment go.
Funny enough, they use a grenade launcher in this film.
That's what I'm referencing. Thank you, Tyler. Very good. Punctuating exactly what I just said. Appreciate that. What do you think I was talking about?
It's for our audience,
Oh, for those fucking idiots.
What? Your words, not mine.
Okay, anyways. So ultimately, I really enjoyed it, and I liked the self-surgery scene, even though he wasn't actually cutting into himself.
Yes.
He was guiding. I'd still call that self-surgery.
Yeah.
And then I liked Stellan Skarsgård being an absolute sociopath. Him being willing to like murder that child on the playground.
Yeah.
You're like, even the guy who's about to buy these, I'm assuming it's some sort of top secret military plans or a bomb or something. Mm-hmm. He's willing to do this. And undoubtedly his plan is to kill hundreds of people or millions of people or whatever. But he still doesn't want him to kill this child. He's like, wait,
hold on.
How do you do it? How did you do that?
Now that's a step too far.
Yeah. I am willing to kill this woman, this girl who I don't even know, and I don't like you. So imagine what I would do to you. That's cool.
That's fucking badass.
That's Alex and Bill's dad right there, Stellan.
Yeah.
So, anyways, those are my thoughts on it. Did you guys read any of the trivia about the movies or the chase scenes whatsoever?
I did. I'm sure
Yes.
you guys did, but I did not. But I did want to point out the charisma between Robert De Niro's character and John's character, Vincent. Like you were saying, like nowhere in the dialogue does it allude to them having like some sort of deeper relationship. But the way that they act towards each other, you can feel the mutual respect of their respective careers. Like I think I lied. I did read some trivia. So they're supposed to be like ex government agent military people.
Yeah.
And so they've seen some shit. They've done some shit. And so I feel like that mutual respect is emoted just expertly well throughout the whole movie, because at least when I was watching the movie, I thought to myself, these guys are going to be pals, like lifelong pals. Like they could make a sequel of this movie, like where they like reconvene, like someone
that
like,
would be, I could
call,
see that.
They call them up and like,
I can see those two characters visiting, because there's the other thing that's interesting about the world that they build, Frankenheimer builds in this, is that, Sam, or our main character, when they lose track of the case, he just finds this random guy in Paris and was like, "Hey, where's the post office?"
That was awesome.
And that little whole reaction in just this really self-contained little thing, you're like, man, this guy's got people all over the fucking world.
Yeah.
He's way deeper than I thought he was. So there's a lore there as well. And then there's also a lore with Jean Reno's character of Vincent when the bad guy's about to kill him. And he's like, "Do I know you?" And what does he say? Does he say Vienna?
Yeah, yeah,
Is it Vienna?
Yeah,
Or he
he-
says the name of a city, and he goes Vienna.
yeah. He says
"Ah,
Vienna.
That's where it is. Sorry to have to do this to you, my friend. Before
Yeah.
he almost kills him.
Yeah.
But there's a lore there, and it's almost like a John Wick era. So there's more lore to the story than we ever will know. It would be a decent spin-off. Maybe they could still do it. They're both De Niro and Jean Reno still alive.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I like about this movie. Like, if we're gonna like compare and contrast with like John Wick lore into this kind of lore, is I don't really like how John Wick goes into like the deeper aspect of the story of like this underworld like assassin society. I like the ambiguity of what this movie is portraying about mercenaries.
Joseph, you were saying trivia.
Oh, yes. The one of the stunt drivers was a Formula One driver, Jean-Pierre Jarier.
Really?
Jarier. That 300 stunt drivers were employed to give the final chase scene the required amount of realism.
Jesus.
A lot, as much
300?
300. We gotta make this look good and real.
They so on this Arrow DVD or Blu-ray disc that I have, one of the special, there's actually 2 special features specifically about the car chase scenes, and they show how they retrofitted the cars to make it look like De Niro was driving or Natasha's driving. And for one thing that they did is they made the cars right-hand drive, and they had De Niro sit on the left side, but they were basically cutting out the stunt driver in the passenger seat, so he's mirroring what the stunt driver's doing, but not doing anything. That's one. But when they had to have 2 people in it in a wide shot, they cut the back half of the car off, like the roof and rear doors and quarter panel out, and they put the driver in the back, like over the rear wheels, and put extensions out to the pedals so that he can drive from the back seat, basically. And he's sitting low on the ground in the back seat, so his head's out of view, and they look like they're driving, but it's only the front half of a car, and they're
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
bombing through the city as they're driving.
That's insane.
I know.
Yeah, there's a Nathan Fielder episode, Nathan for You, where they do something similar to that, where for like an Uber driver.
Oh, on the roof.
And they put the stunt driver on the roof.
And they have to put an awning when they walk out so they can't see the guy on the roof.
Yeah.
That's so funny. One of the stunt drivers actually, a few years prior to the movie coming out, 1993, I think, won the 24-hour of Le Mans.
Oh.
He was the winner of that one race a year that is one of the most intense, grueling races of all time.
Yeah.
And he was the winner.
Destroyed during the film.
Jesus. Jesus Christ.
So, in the special features, also the stunt coordinator was talking with one of the stunt drivers. No, it wasn't the stunt driver. It was the guy who actually drove the Audi in the movie. The actor. His name was what is his name here? Skip Sudeth, that played Larry. Poor Larry got his throat cut.
See what happens, Larry.
Yeah, and there was some scenes where the actors were driving pretty significantly, paced, and they just let them do the scene, and they're like, it's not too hard. You're gonna go down the street and then take a turn or whatever.
Yeah.
Before we cut, and Larry Sudeth is being talked to by the stunt coordinator, and he says, 2 things to remember: you don't get extra points for hitting anything, and I don't want to see those fucking brake lights on.
Oh, shit.
Which feels like, as soon as they said that, I'm thinking back and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't feel like anybody touched the goddamn brakes through that entire
You know what?
scene.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I don't think I saw any brake lights except for.
I mean, there's a couple points when, they have to, they're going on the
when they're-
roundabout, this and that, whatever.
Or when they're in the tunnel, but even then though, very minimal.
What'd you guys think about that? The fish in a barrel tunnel scene,
Oh, that first
the standoff.
standoff.
Yeah.
I mean, it was tense for sure.
I
Because they were like, "Come over here."
Hey, no big deal.
The
We're
rest
just
of it's over here.
yeah. Hey, come on,
Come on.
come on, friend.
think
Sean Bean's a moron.
What?
Isn't Sean Bean?
Sean Bean, yeah.
Sean Bean's a
Oh,
fucking.
I'm just gonna do it. We're just gonna go do it. We're gonna
Well,
do
see-
it. Get it over with.
I was gonna comment on that. I think I feel for Sean Bean because he knows this is a very high stakes handoff, and he's thinking to himself, you know what? If we just do this as quickly as possible, we can just get away. And like, if we have to defend ourselves, we will. But let's just do it. Like, kind of like had like, well, I mean,
moron.
Yeah, of course, he was moronic about it. But
moron.
Of course, he was moronic about it. But I could understand like the sense of urgency because he's just trying to get the job done. He's trying to get his bag.
See, this is why you always lose at poker when we play, because you're like, I got a job, I got to bet on this hand.
Yeah,
every hand you're betting.
Yeah,
just because you're there doesn't mean you have to go through with it.
I could make the most money right now.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And so that's
gambling
why
is that you can't lose, because think about it. You can.
That's
make
why
you can make unlimited money gambling, but you can only lose 100% of your money.
Right, and that's why I don't gamble, because
gamblers are winners.
You're this close.
That's
Just
right.
keep going.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. The gamblers are winner, and I'm not one of them.
If I'm sitting in a situation like that, and I have somebody as fucking cool
as
Sam, as Robert De Niro's character,
yeah,
and he's saying, "You don't want to go in there." I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there. And Jean Reno at least understands that it's probably a setup, but he's like, I'm getting paid to go in, so I must.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I respect that. But Sean Bean's just like, hey, let's fucking go. Let's go get the guns.
Robert De Niro is telling us that we to not go in there, and here you are, Sean Bean, in this point in your career, telling us to go in.
You already know you're killed off in every movie.
Yeah.
It's high risk for you. But he calls it, Sam calls it 100%. He's like, stand in front of those guys. If there's a sniper, though, we want to hit their guy. And then sure as shit, there's a fucking boat goes by.
Yeah,
sees the
boat
sniper.
goes by, sees the sniper. That was a really awesome sequence of events.
I
Because
like the hat that fat guy was wearing. The like fuzzy cone hat thing.
Oh,
yeah, that was pretty
It's
cool.
a very European hat.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but I love it.
Well, one thing about this movie too is that it made me really want to go to Europe. Like, it seems like a really cool place to go.
You could go to Europe and you could live off the land. Like you today, right now, you could go over there. And
I
just
could
be
go.
a vagrant.
I don't know. I don't think I could. I don't think I have the.
I saw 100 beggars look just like you when I was in Portugal. So you could integrate right into it.
Yeah.
In France, the smell would just blend in.
Yeah.
Which is
You got me there.
Do you have any talents? Can you busk?
No.
You could be a mime.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
just
Do you notice they had mimes at the ice event that they were doing?
they did.
Yeah. They're like, how fucking French is this? Mimes on ice.
By the way, we're in France.
Yeah. I don't want you guys to forget. Speaking of the ice show, when Stellan Skarsgård's character gets shot in the middle of the forehead, that kind of the makeup effect was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It just looked like a gray dot on his head.
Yeah.
That was really really funny.
I was like, ooh, that's really fast.
I know it. When that scene happened, I paused the movie for a second just to see, like, and I
What it was.
rewinded it, and I was like, that's what they went with? Like, it was just like
Like a gray dot.
yeah.
Well, this was
So it's-
98.
yeah,
98.
98. Yeah. So that I actually did laugh when that happened.
Got a good chuckle out of that.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I kind of was disappointed that we didn't get to find out what was in the case, because it seemed so they were getting paid $100,000 each to retrieve the case for the woman, and
woman.
I mean, that's a pretty high price to pay those people. Like, that's so that
100,000 each?
yeah, so that's
Doesn't seem that
$400,000.
much.
$500,000
To literally case that you don't know the contents of.
And you could
$100,000
also die.
And you could also, the 100,000 doesn't seem that much, to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the 90s though, so
It's
I mean,
the 90s,
like,
baby. That's like
100,000.
That's like 100 million.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think the inflation was that bad.
No, it's probably like 350,000.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Actually, what do you guys think the inflation is? I'm saying 350.
Yeah, I'm saying like 350 as well. 325. I'll go for 325.
So you can't copy me.
I'll say 400,000.
Okay. $100,000. Let's see.
In 1998.
100,000. There's an inflation calculator.
All right.
In 1998.
We're doing math. We're doing math.
Oh, it's only 158.
They're way off.
They're freaking Robert De Niro's character is taking slugs to the
100,000, 196.
Okay, well,
Okay.
regardless.
I love the
it's-
line when he's shot and they're heading to. He's like, "Yeah, find me a doctor's office or a veterinary's office. I'll just boost what I need." And
Oh yeah.
right before that, he asks Vincent asked him, "How you doing?" And he looks down and goes, "Well, I'm leaking." Great line.
I love that.
What a badass.
I'm leaking.
Pain don't hurt.
Yeah.
Pain don't hurt. God damn it.
How much money would it take for you,
Me?
Tyler,
Yeah?
Like you point right at him.
for you
Me.
to kill somebody that you don't know?
How much money it would take for me to indiscriminately kill someone?
Yeah, you don't know why you're killing them. You don't know who they are. You don't know their name or anything.
You push
Is it a man or a woman?
Doesn't matter.
you push a
Anybody.
button
How do I kill them?
with a gun.
A gun.
However you want.
You push a button.
Would the price change if you had to, depending on the weapon or
No.
the method? Okay, then why are you asking?
Well, I was just wondering.
They make it up on your own.
Okay, so if I had to just go up and do
Random person in the
Abraham Lincoln style assassination,
How much money would it take
how much money would it take?
to risk your life?
Okay, well, do I get caught?
You might.
You might, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so there's the risk of getting
Yeah, of
caught.
course, there's the risk.
Okay.
But you would do it for free if you didn't get caught.
I pay them. I pay them. My life savings, $175.
No, this ain't hostile. I think it would take about $750,000 for
That's
me
it.
to
750,000 to murder.
to murder someone indiscriminately, just single who the fuck assassinate?
Booth.
Yeah, to John Wilkes Booth someone.
So only less than $1 million.
Joseph, what's your number?
It had to be like
It's reasonable.
it had to be like $999 million.
$999 million. No one's gonna pay you $999 million to murder.
This is a
someone.
hypothetical. Yes, they are.
No, you think about all of the movies that have hired guns. They're not paying people millions of dollars to kill someone.
This is
Because I would never kill someone.
yeah.
Why not? It could be fun.
Yeah.
So a human life is worth less than $1 million to you.
Correct.
okay.
It could be less. I was thinking. I honestly
What's the
was
lowest amount? Yeah.
$560,000.
560.
Yeah.
It's not a big gap between those two numbers.
That's a $200,000. $300,000 difference.
That's not that much in the context of 500,000 versus 700,000.
That's
Yeah.
also not 300,000 difference.
I mean, I would do it. I mean, I would just have to. I would have to cover my tracks and stuff like that. All that stuff.
if you
I mean,
had to do it, what would you do?
what would I do?
Here's a scenario. I'm going to extrapolate on this. Okay, we're going to go down the rabbit hole. So, I'm a wealthy benefactor. I have more money than I know what to do with. My name is
Tommy Wiseau.
Milan Usk. Okay, Milan Usk.
Okay.
And I say, Tyler, I want you to kill a person who I've chosen for you.
Okay.
And you have to do that in their normal life. I'm not going to disrupt in any way. You have to go into their world and go out into the world and kill them. Won't be like a hostage situation where I've already kidnapped them, taken them to an island, and you're gonna most dangerous game the situation.
Yeah,
You have to go out into the world, find this person, kill this person, and then you suffer the consequences one way or the other. How would you do it? And I'm gonna say this person lives in Seattle, Washington. Actually, a suburb outside of Seattle.
A suburb.
Okay. Large suburb, about the size of Elk Grove, but outside of Seattle.
Oh, geez. Well, now
How would
we're-
you do it?
Well, now we're making our own movie right here.
I know.
Well, you have to case out the place. And
No. I don't. Leave all that. Leave the preparation. But what would your method be? How would you get away with it? How would you kill them?
I mean, it would just be a single gunshot to the head.
Okay. How do you access the person?
Well, see, you're telling me no.
How do you get into that? Do you do it when they're at work? Do you do it on their commute? Do you wait till they're sleeping and break into their house?
Yeah, no. When they're sleeping, break in their house, just indiscriminately, just
Okay.
grab the casing,
Now you get in there and you do it, and then you see photos of yourself all over the table.
Oh,
Now what do you do?
take the photos.
Okay.
This is
And
before or after you kill
and
him?
After you kill him.
Okay.
And now you assume you're fine now. You're not going to get caught. This person has photos of you, mind you.
Oh wait, hold on. Yeah,
And 2 days prior, you got a mysterious phone call from a Seattle area code number.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I feel like we're onto something here. I mean, yeah, it would be. I mean,
What do you do at that point?
and
And you hear the police sirens coming around. You brought your bike? Yes. Why don't you just buy a new one while you're there? And they're like, okay, we have
Did you bike to Seattle?
a military age male, unkempt on a fixed gear bike,
That
possibly drunk, leaving the area.
somehow he got into this house.
The neighbors reported a mysterious stench in the neighborhood.
we thought it was Bigfoot.
We thought it was garbage day, but it wasn't.
It turns out it's this young mid 30-year-old man.
From a distance, I wouldn't say young.
Oh, really? I don't look that old, do I?
You look haggard.
I do.
Yeah, you look like you look like if I saw you sleeping on the street, I wouldn't be surprised.
God.
Wow.
Wow. This. Regardless, though, this movie, there's something about like the way that film looked back in like the 90s that just really brings you in and gives you that nostalgic feeling. Maybe because I look haggard and old, and I grew up on those kinds of movies. I thought this movie looked really well done, and what?
I just like the cat you caught yourself.
And so, yeah, Ronin. I think that there could have been a little bit more samurai stuff
my
with it.
God.
That's okay. I saw it. I saw
Okay.
it stop a while ago. And I didn't say anything.
All right. Just making sure.
Okay.
It's shot on 35 millimeter, Super 35. Apparently, I don't know if this means anything to Joseph, but the
It's like, oh, my favorite 35.
the
The super kind.
and did you notice in the one thing I thought I didn't like and I thought was really goofy was the kind of fake technology that the Skarsgård's character was using in the back of the van.
Yeah.
It was almost like the enhance.
Oh yeah.
Enhance.
Speaking of that, that is Avid.
That's what I was gonna say. Did you notice that, or did you just read?
I looked it up.
What is it?
It's Avid. It's a film editing software which they use to edit this film.
Oh,
on the computer when he's actually giving him directions. He's looking at the film editing software in real life. Yeah.
that's awesome.
I know. I loved it. That was great.
It's interesting that they chose to include that. Like, no one's gonna know what it looks like. This is '98.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Only Hollywood people edit.
I mean, that's true, though. No one would recognize that. I didn't.
I didn't, so no one would.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
I still can't believe you kill somebody for $500,000.
$560,000. This is my lowest bid.
So if someone offered you $500,000 right now, you wouldn't take it to go kill someone?
Yeah, I probably would.
Add 60K to that and count me in.
Yeah. Well, as long as they paid for like my room and board and stuff.
So that-
No.
So that $60,000 difference is what qualifies human life as.
No, I just said if someone
At
he
some
just
point,
said
it's a
it.
$1 difference.
It's
Yeah.
if he just said like if someone offered you $500,000 right now to kill someone, would you do it? I'd be like, yeah.
Still do it.
Yeah.
How about $250,000?
See, now that's where I have to debate.
No, but wait. So
I'm
$500
talking him down. I'm trying to find the bare bottom. of
No,
the
it's
$50.
$50.
We know $50. Don't lie. But you wouldn't do it for $50. But
No,
how
I
about
wouldn't.
$450,000? That's like
Yeah,
20
yeah, I
years
would-
wages for you.
Yeah, I do it for $450. Yeah.
How about,
Well,
how about $375? $375.
Well, then there would have to be some accommodations with that price. But yeah, with accommodations, yeah.
I want a gift card.
Yeah, maybe a
I want V-Bucks.
gift card to Best Buy, and maybe
Buy.
maybe a paid dinner at a nice restaurant.
An gift card to Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tahoe Joe's.
Tahoe.
Is that still around? Tahoe Joe's?
I don't know. They got them in Tahoe, I'll tell you that much.
So you would kill somebody for a Tahoe Joe's gift card and $375,000.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, I mean,
I think the only way I could kill somebody is if I realized that they were, if I knew like for a fact that they were like a pedophile, child molester,
rapist,
you know, someone like who has murdered someone in the past, or maybe somebody that I know personally, that sort of a thing, without, I mean, like, or I was in imminent danger. Like I could kill somebody in self-defense.
but you're not going to pay for it.
Was that an option? Could I do that?
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
Is the bare minimum of how much
No,
money it would take to kill just anybody that you don't know.
Joseph is $999 million, which is an exorbitant amount of price. But
I feel like
But you're the one that's choosing $500,000 to kill somebody.
350, he said.
It's so low.
that's real.
350, he said.
That's real. That's
It's
realistic.
a hypothetical.
That's realistic. though.
Hypotheticals are not based.
No. For Tyler, it might be realistic. For you, it may not. You guys aren't the same person, right?
No, I.
350. Joseph's more
Clearly,
like,
we are not.
Joseph's more like 100 million. And I. So here's the thing: it's not necessarily the killing of the person that I'd be getting paid for, because assume that I get away with it. I'm going to assume that I get away with it, because if I'm going to make it the dedication to do this thing, I would calculate it and think about it in a way that.
And you're doing it indiscriminately, like you don't know that this.
No, I'm doing it with prejudice. I'm going to find out what something I don't like about this person, and then it's like, oh, you motherfucker. Oh, you.
Oh, you use for me. It's like you use chunky peanut butter.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare you?
You gave Mad Max Fury Road 2 stars.
You have to find
Gone.
like evidence like in their house. Like,
Oh, I would be researching for sure.
I'd be planting evidence.
What I'm saying is, the money's not for me to do the killing. The money is for me to abandon my humanity, because after that, could I live with $100 million knowing that I'm a murderer and I've murdered for money?
Why not?
I don't know.
Why not?
That's what I'm saying.
It's so
But,
easy.
Again, capitalist pig, Tyler.
But capitalist
Bootlicking.
How is it bootlicking?
Because the reality is that billionaires in our society do that all the time.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah, they make that decision all the time. They're like, well, you know, this is going to add an extra 0.5% to our bottom line, so we're going to cut everybody's health care off.
We've all killed.
That kills people.
Everyone at this table has killed an animal before, so I think a human is not really that far off from.
Oh, it is. I know. There's a debate at this table.
There's clearly a difference between intentionally going up to another human and shooting them in the head versus being ignorant to the plight of animal suffering
or squashing a bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, after I've killed several mice, like I've kind of lost my like humanity, I guess, in a way.
What next? Human.
I'm already a monster. Might as well just kill someone for money. Hey, that could be your next gig.
What, serial killing?
No, mercenary killing.
Oh, mercenary
There's
killing.
no money in serial killing, but you could be a mercenary.
Yeah, I could just move to South America.
Like a hitman?
You think there's not mercenaries in Sacramento?
Yeah, you know what? But honestly, like, I'm not smart enough or
Be the
strong enough or anything. Like
You started as the Sacramento Batman, and then inevitably
The sack man.
you already have the love sack and the ball sack.
And the beanbag.
All right, we're off the fucking rails.
Yes, we are.
Let's wrap this thing up.
Okay, well, yeah.
Let's wrap this thing up. Tyler, give us a grade for Ronin.
Okay, yeah, solid A for sure. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Yeah, solid A. Just a great. It's a great fun movie, and you know what? It's interesting that you mentioned that this was like one of the last like serious De Niro movies that he made before the turn of the century. And you can tell. Because I was
his last one.
Yeah, because I wasn't really sold on him being like the like charismatic main character. I really wished. I mean, it felt a little confusing that like they were trying to make him be like the kind of like the badass young guy, but also being a
We're
veteran.
not
at
trying
this-
to make him the badass young guy.
but also being a veteran.
We're
Like
not trying to
there's-
make him the badass young guy.
it kind of seemed he was trying to act that way.
Young guy?
Yeah. Yeah, it
He's
kind
got
of.
gray in his hair.
Wait, he said young guy, but also veteran.
Yeah,
he's
that's
not-
what.
It's contradicting.
Anyway, I'm not gonna. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Say
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that it was a little bit confusing because like his position as a character like kind of shifted like a bunch of times, but Robert De Niro is a great actor, so he didn't fail at the role that he was playing. It just was a little confusing.
It's interesting
for
that
me.
this is in your final thoughts as opposed to bringing it on earlier in the.
He's talking about how he's going to murder somebody for like
Yeah, I was-
$125,000. He's going to cancel my student loan debts and I'll kill somebody.
Murder somebody for minimum wage.
Yeah. All right, $50,000 and a handy, and I'll do it.
Handy,
Oh yeah. Oh.
handy,
If
no
we're-
eye contact.
Over the pants, dry H job.
Oh, over the pants.
Over the pants, dry H day.
I guess. But yeah,
Okay,
solid A for
you.
me.
All right.
Yeah.
Joseph, what do you give Ronin?
I give it like a B plus.
Okay.
Yeah, it was entertaining, but I actually retrospectively,
Yeah.
now I'm like, oh yeah, it's totally a dad movie. Just
Yeah,
not not one that my dad watched, at least that I'm aware of.
I think it's under the radar dad movie.
Yeah, top 20 alternate dad movies you never heard of.
Hey, great list.
There you go.
Start at the top, Ronin.
And yeah, this is kind of before De Niro did silly stuff. I mean, Rocky and Bullwinkle,
Yep. Immediately after that, analyze this.
Meet the Parents, but I mean, he's did like obviously Irishman and
Yeah, the Irishman.
most recently the Alto Nights or whatever. Yeah, Alto Nights. So he's peppering in that serious stuff still, but yeah, it was entertaining. Car chase scenes were great, and the filmmaking was great, and shooting on location, it obviously looks like it, feels like it, and it helped with the immersiveness a bit. That first scene was really tense, and there were still some great other tense sequences, but overall the movie was just like a little bit above lukewarm for me.
But still B plus.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm kind of bordering on like A to A minus for this, and not necessarily, like you said, not anything that really stands out as wrong. But it depends on the mood. Like if my mood was, if I'm like, I want to have a kind of a quiet, sultry sort of mature espionage movie. If I'm not in the mood for that, I'm looking for some actiony and shoot 'em up and stuff, then a lot of it's going to drag until we get to the Mexican standoff scene, the fish in the barrel scene, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then all the cool chase scenes. And I'll ask you guys,
Yes.
did you notice the one egregious CG thing in the car chase scenes? And it happened in the little small town at the beginning of the chase scene with the brown Mercedes where they shoot the rocket launcher. Happened right there before the main part of the chase scene starts.
No, I don't think so.
So when he basically does a 180, like burns out and then takes off to start the chase scene, all that smoke is CG.
Oh, really?
And it's to me was super egregious.
Really?
Yeah, I had to rewind it. I'm like, what the? Wait a second. I rewound it and watched it again. I'm like, why did they do that?
Yeah.
It doesn't need that.
Yeah.
But it really stands out, and it's not great quality 1998 CG.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's very chunky. So, anyways, loved it. I love that they got full access to Paris for the chase scenes, and the sheriff of the police department of Paris basically said, "Do whatever you want. No rules, just right." Outback
Whatever you
Steakhouse.
want.
Yeah. Ho, ho, ho. Use our city to its max.
Oh.
And they really did. They did. I was wrong too. I read in some trivia while Tyler was talking that that brown Mercedes apparently is a very, very high performance Mercedes that only about 7,000 of them were made production.
Oh,
Never seen it before. Just looked like a standard Mercedes to me, but it was
yeah, that's what I thought.
apparently a high performance machine. So, anyways, that was Ronin. Now it's time for the next movie, which is going to be Tyler's, and I need to find out what both of you guys are going to be having us cover for your pick. So, Tyler, what's your pick?
All right. I am going to go with The French Connection, which I stream picked a couple of months ago.
Yep.
And
Like 3 weeks ago.
it was only 3 weeks ago.
Just kidding. I don't know.
I was gonna say. I was
don't
like,
know.
there's no way.
I'll tell you right now.
So
why the French Connection?
because I feel like the car chase scene is just it's hilarious and also engaging. Because when you're watching what the damage is going, like what the car's damage is, you're wondering to yourself, how is this car still running?
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's relentless too. Like the car scene, like it just never ends.
Joseph, have you seen this?
I did watch it a few months ago, actually.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Oh, bummer. You have to rewatch it again in such a short amount of time.
And also, yeah. So that car, that one stood out to me. And then also, I just love the movie. It's just a really great detective movie. And yeah, so French Connection.
Cool. I've never seen it before. I know it's supposed to be a great one. You streaming picked this on our March 24th episode.
Okay, so yeah, it was like a
month ago.
several
6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we'll watch that. Let me see where it's found. French Connection. I think you said Prime, right?
Yeah, it was, it was on Prime the last time I
Okay,
checked.
French Connection.
Education Connection.
1971. Right now, it says it's not streaming anywhere.
Get connected for free with French Connection.
The French Connection.
With the French Connection.
Okay, so this is, the late, great Gene Hackman. That's
Yeah.
why you were watching it.
Oh yeah, I was on a Gene Hackman bit for a second there.
Yeah, absolutely. Of the top 5 multiple chase scenes.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it's way up there. Kind of widely known. Joseph, next week after that, what's yours?
A movie called The Driver from 1978.
The Driver.
Yeah. And based on this little synopsis or little description of it, it's a stripped down thriller, one where none of the characters have a name, and we follow the driver, a getaway driver who's become a thorn in the side of the LAPD, with the driver behind the wheel of a
Performance car. That's a big car.
cat and mouse game unfolds when a handful of police cars are hot on his tail.
Ooh, Walter Hill directed.
Yeah.
Nice. I like Walter Hill.
So yeah.
Cool.
Sounded cool.
All right, and then then we'll put the call out to the Patreon members at large and find out what they want for the 4th entry of this month.
Yep.
And then, but I'm not going to do that this week. I'm going to actually put out the call to the cool ass yard duties and find out what they want their topic to be.
Okay.
So we have a topic that needs to be spun, and when we spin the wheel next time, it's either going to be Tyler or it's going to be the Patreon, one of the Patreon picks. So they got 2 topics, and they'll pick between the 2 of them, or just maybe one, and we'll make it like a double slat. And just be done with that. So I guess next time we're watching French Connection.
Yeah.
And it's the first of what? How many movies? There's the sequels to that.
Yeah, there's a sequel.
Is it just 2? Let's see.
I think there's more. I think there's more than 2,
French.
but maybe not.
Let's see here. Affection. There's a 3rd one.
Oh.
Ed O'Neill stars in the 3rd one.
Oh,
That's interesting.
is he married?
Huh?
Is he married?
Married?
Ed O'Neill.
Oh, with children maybe.
Yeah.
I know he had an old Tatum O'Neill.
No, the married with children joke.
Oh.
He was Al Bundy and Married with Children.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Great.
Fooled me.
All right. So you guys have anything else you want to say before we sign off?
No. It just it was a great movie. I'm glad to watch it.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. So thank you to our cool ass yard duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather, Michael, and Chris. If you want to join us on the Patreon, you can do so at patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass, or you can just support us on the YouTube, and that is your own way to support. But if you want to have a say in the movies that we're going to watch at the end of each month, join the Patreon. All levels from $2 all the way up get to say what movie we're going to watch on week 4 of each individual month, but only the top tier cool ass yard duties can choose the actual topic, which will be something we cover for the entire month. If you want to do that, we do have one slot open. It's an exclusive slot. There's only 5 available, and we have 4 people in there right now. So if you want to be a cool ass yard duty, you can go to the patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass, join up, and help shape the show. A big chunk of the show, actually.
Yeah.
So until next time.
Yeah!
Okay. I pushed the wrong button. I thought I did that for a second.
It's on the board.
Until next time. Thank you for joining us as we gab and chatter. We talk about Ronin from 1968. Follow us next week as we review one of the greats, The French Connection, starring one of the greats. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class.
And follow us on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class and on Twitter at Podcast MCFC.
Yeah, thank you everybody for sticking with us in the first half for the live stream. A lot of technical difficulties, but we think we figured it out. So join us next week, and we'll see you then.
See ya.
See ya.